Yolanda and Melody Shari's situation has taken a turn that no one saw coming. What started as a disagreement has turned into a messy and public legal fight filled with tension, accusations, and emotional chaos. Yolanda, once respected for her talent and potential, is now at the center of a storm of controversy after her ongoing issues with Melody have spilled out for everyone to see. The court case between these two women has sparked countless reactions from fans and viewers who have followed their drama, with many wondering why Yolanda continues to attack Melody instead of moving on. From the beginning, the entire situation has felt unnecessary and toxic. According to reports, Yolanda has been making claims that she won the first part of the legal battle with Melody, but that Melody won the second part. The problem is that even by Yolanda's own admission, that means Melody came out on top overall. Still, Yolanda refuses to accept that. She continues to act as if she's the one who came out victorious, when in reality, the court's decision clearly favored Melody. This denial has become one of the main reasons people are calling Yolanda delusional. It's not about who won or lost anymore, it's about how far someone will go to keep a false image alive even when the truth is obvious to everyone else. But what has made this situation worse is that Yolanda hasn't stopped there. After the judgment, instead of finding peace and letting go, she allegedly began threatening to sue Melody again. Fans and bloggers were stunned. People questioned why Yolanda couldn't just walk away. It seemed like she was determined to keep the feud alive no matter what. Her words and actions have shown that she's still emotionally caught up in something that should have been left in the past. Melody, on the other hand, has stayed quiet and focused on her own path. While Yolanda's posts and interviews keep circling around anger and bitterness, Melody has shown restraint and maturity, choosing silence instead of feeding into the chaos. When Yolanda started comparing herself and her business to Melody's, that's when things took an even stranger turn. She tried to claim that Melody's brand, 7th Avenue Beauty, was somehow copying Stormy Steele's brand, Canvas Beauty, and that there were similarities that couldn't be ignored. But fans immediately noticed that her comparison made no sense. 7th Avenue Beauty is Melody's personal creation, built from her vision and hard work. It's her own business, her own name, her own brand. Melody's supporters were quick to remind everyone that 7th Avenue Beauty has never had the shipping issues that Stormy's company has faced, and that Melody's customers are always satisfied with her professionalism and organization. So, why would Yolanda even try to stir this up? Many believe it's not about business or products, it's about bitterness. It's about rejection. When someone feels rejected or left out, they can start to attack from every angle. The truth is, Yolanda seems to be lashing out because Melody no longer wants anything to do with her. That rejection has turned into resentment. And now, instead of moving on and rebuilding her own path, Yolanda is choosing to live in anger. That's why people are calling her behavior toxic and narcissistic. She's displaying the classic traits of someone who cannot accept being shut out. And that rejection has led her to align herself with others who share that same energy. Yolanda has reportedly gotten closer to Stormy, and even bragged about being invited to her birthday party. This raised eyebrows because Stormy has had her own history of tension with Melody. Many viewers started saying birds of a feather flock together, suggesting that Yolanda and Stormy's connection might be based more on their mutual issues with Melody than any genuine friendship. It's sad, but it's also predictable. When someone doesn't like another person, they often seek out others who feel the same way. People in the comments sections have not held back their thoughts. Many of them have been telling Yolanda directly to stop, to move on, to focus on herself. They've been calling out her behavior for being vindictive and obsessive. One person said, "Stop being so vindictive. It's getting old." Another said, "If you dislike the lady, just stop speaking on her. She is doing her thing. She done closed the door silently." And that's the truth, Melody has moved on silently. She doesn't need to respond to every negative comment or every attack thrown her way. That's what real growth looks like. But for Yolanda, silence is like rejection all over again. Instead of letting it humble her or give her space to heal, it seems to fuel her even more. She keeps posting, keeps talking, keeps comparing, as if she's trying to prove something that nobody asked for. And it's gotten to the point where even some of her supporters have started to walk away. they see that her energy isn't about self-respect anymore, it's about obsession. When you spend more time tearing down someone else than building yourself up, it says a lot about where your spirit is. The saddest part about all this is that Yolanda really is talented. She's beautiful, creative, and has a voice that once had fans excited for her future. But instead of using her platform to grow and show that side of herself, she's now known for constant online drama. There's a saying that when you fight with pigs, both of you get dirty, but only one enjoys it. In this case, Melody doesn't even seem to be in the ring anymore, yet Yolanda keeps swinging. The fight is one-sided. And when you're fighting alone, it's not a battle, it's self-destruction. People have also been reminding Yolanda that being bitter never helps anyone. The more you dwell on someone who has moved on, the more you lose focus on yourself. And in Yolanda's case, that's exactly what's happening. Her words about Melody, her shade toward Miss Van, and even her cruel jokes about how Melody handled herself in court, all of it makes her look small, not strong. That's what many are saying. Because no matter how angry she might be, dragging another woman publicly doesn't fix anything. One of the biggest turning points in this whole saga came when Yolanda started insulting Melody's mother, Miss Van, calling her names and disrespecting her. That was the moment a lot of people completely lost respect for her. Fans said, "That's a grown woman, and she didn't deserve that." And they were right. When you cross the line from arguing with someone to attacking their family, you lose credibility. It stops being about justice and starts being about hate. And that's what Yolanda's situation has turned into, a hate campaign against someone who's not even engaging with her anymore. What's really going on here is deeper than a court case or a disagreement. This is about emotional rejection, unhealed wounds, and an inability to let go. People who can't handle being cut off often rewrite the story to make themselves look like the victim. They convince themselves that the other person is wrong, that the world is unfair, and that they have to fight for their truth. But sometimes, their truth is just a defense mechanism. In Yolanda's case, it looks like she's struggling to accept that Melody doesn't owe her anything, not friendship, not communication, not attention. That's why Yolanda keeps mentioning Melody's name. It's not about justice. It's about attention. Every post, every rant, every comparison, it's all her way of saying, "Look at me. Don't forget me." But what she doesn't realize is that she's only reminding people of how much Melody has grown past this drama. Melody is winning by doing nothing. She doesn't have to clap back or defend herself. Her silence is louder than any response could be. It's proof that peace speaks volumes, while chaos only echoes. The public reaction has been clear. Most people are tired of Yolanda's behavior. They're not amused by her jokes or impressed by her rants. Instead, they see them as signs of someone who's spiraling. And the more she posts, the worse it looks. That's why so many are saying she needs to let it go. It's over. The legal case is done. The decision was made. But instead of accepting the outcome, she's trying to rewrite it. It's as if she can't stand the idea that Melody walked away with her dignity intact while she's still stuck in the mud. Rejection can be painful, especially for someone who craves validation. But maturity means learning how to accept when something is over. It means realizing that sometimes, silence is not weakness, it's strength. Melody's silence is power. She doesn't have to explain herself because the truth always stands firm on its own. And that's what Yolanda doesn't understand. You can't win by fighting someone who isn't even fighting back. All you do is exhaust yourself. The people who once supported Yolanda are starting to feel sorry for her. They see someone who had potential but lost focus. Instead of taking this moment to rebuild her brand and show her talent, she's spending her energy online, fighting shadows. And the sad part is, no matter what she says now, people will always remember how she handled this situation. Public perception is powerful, and once people see you as messy and bitter, it's hard to change that. In life, everyone goes through rejection. We all face moments where someone we care about chooses to move on. But how we respond to that says everything about our character. Melody's response has been silence, grace, and focus. Yolanda's response has been anger, comparison, and chaos. That's the difference between healing and hurting. One moves forward, the other stays stuck. And it's not just about Melody and Yolanda anymore. This entire situation shows how social media can turn personal pain into public entertainment. People forget that behind every post and every rant is a human being who's struggling. But at the same time, when you keep inviting the public into your pain, you give them permission to judge you. Yolanda keeps opening that door, and people keep walking in, forming opinions that she may never escape. If she truly wants peace, she needs to stop fighting ghosts. The court battle is over. The insults, the comparisons, the bitterness, it's all unnecessary now. What's left to fight for? What's left to prove? Sometimes, the only way to win is to walk away. And that's what Yolanda hasn't done yet. She's still trying to win a battle that doesn't exist anymore. In the end, this whole thing could have been avoided. If Yolanda had simply accepted the loss, learned from it, and focused on herself, the public might still be rooting for her. But every time she attacks Melody, she loses more respect. The people who once cheered for her now roll their eyes. The ones who once admired her talent now shake their heads. It's a sad fall from grace. Meanwhile, Melody's peace is speaking volumes. She doesn't have to respond, doesn't have to defend herself, doesn't even have to acknowledge the noise. Her success, her grace, her silence, that's her response. And in the end, that's what hurts Yolanda the most. Because no matter how loud she gets, Melody's calm is louder. It's a lesson that everyone can learn from. Sometimes, walking away is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. When you refuse to let bitterness control you, you reclaim your power. Melody did just that. And until Yolanda learns that same lesson, she'll keep spinning in circles, fighting a war that she's already lost. The situation between these two women is a reminder that not every battle needs to be fought, and not every ending deserves a sequel. Sometimes peace is the final word. And right now, Melody holds that peace, while Yolanda is still looking for a fight that no longer exists.